Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is the Raw Life Health Show with Paul Neeson, and I am a raw foodist. You can call me Raw Paul. I've been eating a raw diet for many, many years, and a raw vegan diet. And I think nutrition has a lot to do with our health. But now, in today's times, we have to question this more than ever before. Or is there a role between uh, the viruses that are out there today, like COVID and 19 and so on, and our physical health and all the variants that are coming out and are specifically our diet. So the question today is, how many of you believe that our nutrition has a role to play in us getting better from COVID? And I want to discuss that here for a little while today because there are a lot of people that are suffering today. I know a lot of people that don't take care of their bodies that suffer, but I know people that do take care of their bodies that get the virus as well. So, what impact does nutrition have, specifically the raw food diet, on us getting or not getting COVID? And I can tell you, I have not gotten tested for COVID, but I've suffered from the symptoms of COVID, and I've been eating a raw vegan diet for many, many years. And so there's one thing I always say, and what I've learned a long time ago is that there's no perfect food, there's no perfect diet, or there's no perfect way of eating or living that's going to keep you from getting anything or everything. Now it can greatly reduce the chances and the symptoms, but it doesn't make you immune to everything out there in the world today. No matter what you do, whether it's a raw food diet or a vaccine, there's no 100% proof plan to know. Now, with that, I could tell you that all the times of my whole life, whenever I suffered from uh, an illness, specifically a disease or something, with a physical ailment, the healing was faster according to the typical way of people healing. But if it was from a disease or something, let's say, or a virus or something, so let's say my family had the flu, it didn't make me immune from getting the flu. I would just, when the average person had it for maybe a week really bad or even 2 weeks, I would maybe feel bad for a day, 24 hours or something. So it wasn't, it definitely, I knew there was not made me immune to it, but it definitely cut down the symptoms. And I also know that there were times where if I wasn't healthy, I think I would have gotten sick more often where I didn't, because I think my immune system was strong based on the foods I eat and the lifestyle I live. So now we come to a higher level of that in COVID. And like I said, I suffered from the symptoms of COVID. And who knows how bad or it could have been if I was obese, because there's a definitely connection between obesity and dying from COVID, or if I had diabetes or some other illness because I wasn't taking care of my body, and then I would have got the symptoms of COVID. I mean, well, how would that have been? And how I like to describe it to people is picture a fence. So I got this book here. So picture this as a fence, and you're at the top of the fence. So you're wavering with your health, you're at the top of the fence. Well, then something like COVID comes along and it could push you over the wrong way. But if you're taking care of your health, you're on the right side of the fence. So if COVID comes along, it might draw you closer or it might even take you to the top, but it's not going to push you over. But when you're obese or you're just playing around with your diet, you're not eating healthy, you're at the top of the fence and something like COVID comes along, and you're falling to the wrong side of the fence. So there's definitely an impact on the nutrition and our overall health and our protection against COVID and these other viruses and things out there as well. So it's imperative now more than ever that people are taking care of your health from a diet standpoint, that you're eating better, and from a health standpoint, that you're not having to go to the doctor with all these other diseases. You can't even get in the emergency room these days because all the beds are taken with COVID and everything else. I'm hearing more and more stories about that, of people dying from diseases that are easily treatable by the doctors and commonly treatable by doctors, but there's just no room in a hospital because people are getting sick from COVID. And what are you supposed to do? Now's the time we're supposed to take our health in our own hands. Now's the time we're supposed to get serious about this. And I give the practical ways to do these different things. And I've said this many times on the show, and I say this again. Number one thing, get rid of your microwave ovens. If any of you have a microwave oven in your house, get rid of it. There's no excuse that you should be following this channel and have a microwave oven in your house. Now, you might say, well, I know that, and I've got rid of that a long time ago. But now I ask you, and this is the one that gets everyone. This is the one people disagree with me about. This is the one that people say, well, I don't know about. Listen, stop drinking coffee. Stop drinking coffee. What the description of your video was about is COVID and the raw food diet, not about coffee. Listen, you should not be a follower of this channel and still drinking coffee. Coffee and caffeine specifically is a drug. It's a legal drug that creates adrenaline fatigue, and many other issues with your body. It's very deceptive because it's legal and many people think it's okay. And most people are so addicted they can't get through the day without even drinking coffee. So your microwave oven, your coffee, get those two things out of your life. While what most people doing, they're microwaving their water to drink their coffee. It's not healthy. Can you just imagine, instead of microwaving your coffee every day, if you instead had a fresh smoothie of fruits and vegetables, how much better you would feel? It completely changes your not only your outlook on life and your health, but also in protecting, because your immune system is going to be stronger. How about this? Instead of having that smoothie, what if you had a green vegetable juice with a juicer? Wow. You talk about changing your composition and your the whole roadmap for your life from being healthier, because you might be somebody now who feels great, you feel fine because you're living off the stimulation of coffee and everything else. But if you're using a microwave oven and drinking coffee, you're at the top of the fence. You're not helping yourself at all. And just because you've gotten away with something, I say this all the time, it's so important. Just because you've gotten away with doing something for so long isn't an excuse to keep doing it when you find out it's wrong. That's important to understand, because so many people say, well, I've gotten away this long with eating cooked food and not eating a vegan diet for this long, so it must be okay for me. I must be the exception. No, I'll say it again. Just because you've gotten away for so many years of eating something that you shouldn't be eating without getting sick is not an excuse to keep doing it when you find out it's bad for you. It's not good for you. The research is out there. Stop doing it. Get a juicer. Start juicing every day. Eat healthy foods. Live a healthy lifestyle. So the majority of your diet should be raw, ripe, fresh, organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. So even then, the nutrients that are found in food today when you buy food from the store is so depleted. And so my answer is no. A raw food diet will not help you from stop. Well, it'll help you. It can help you from stop getting COVID, but it's not going to make you invincible, saying you never will get COVID. More important, though, is getting rid of the things that are creating problems. Health doesn't begin with you add to your diet. It begins with you eliminate. Eliminate those things that are creating the problem, and you'll see a tremendous difference in your health. So this is really important to understand. And then, with the vaccine and all of that stuff, it's a dangerous thing. You're much more sensitive to certain things when you're healthy, believe it or not. So, for example, the body has a great way to adapt. So, if I eat a pretty clean diet. When I was a little kid, I could eat a whole pack of ice cream and not feel sick. But now if I ate ice cream, I would feel sick. I wouldn't feel good because I'm much more sensitive. My body's giving a true reaction to what's going on. Instead of adapting to my environment and what was going on, now my body's giving a true reaction. Hey, this isn't good for you. So the average person would think, well, you're not healthy because you put a little ice cream in your body and you get sick. No, just because you have adapted to it doesn't mean you're immune to it. And this is what happens. Say, for example, a smoker, somebody who smokes a cigarette for the first time ever, they're going to start to cough a lot. But then you could train yourself and get to a point where you can smoke a whole pack of cigarettes and not cough. You think, well, this must be good for me. I must have strong lungs. No. You've created so much damage that your body can't even reply appropriately to what's going on in your body. So I think a person that's eating a healthy diet and living a healthy lifestyle is going to be a lot more, have a much stronger reaction if they get sick possibly, or if they take the vaccine or some other medications, you might have a much stronger reaction because your body's trying to reject these things because it's giving you a true response that, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this, or this isn't good for yourself. So it puts you in a very interesting position because you're a lot more sensitive to these different things. But at the same time, you built your immune system up, so it's a lot less likely that you'll suffer the way you would as if you were just like the world, immune to everything in the world and just eating anything and everything. And it's just, when I'm hearing all these reports about people that are getting sick and dying, many times from COVID, many times there's an underlying condition, whether it's obesity or diabetes or something like that. And I'm not saying so-called healthy people never get sick, but not to the degree of people that are getting sick that are overweight. I mean, there's a tremendous connection between obesity and dying from COVID. Tremendous connection. There's a tremendous connection between diabetes and other diseases and dying from COVID. This thing is real, folks. But you know what? It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be if you're taking care of yourself and if you're living as healthy as you could possibly live. And yes, it's time to give up the pleasure of eating candy for the sake of your life. I would hope your life is more important than eating a candy bar or eating some things that you know aren't healthy for you and things that you shouldn't be eating and putting in your bodies. So I pray that we get wise about these decisions we're going to make. And 75% of your diet at least should be fresh fruits and vegetables. At least. And eat those first before you eat anything else. Don't overeat. Don't eat late at night. Those are other two tremendously important concepts that create bad health. Overeating and eating late at night. I have a whole book called The Daylight Diet that talks about this thing. And people are eating way more than they actually need because the food they're eating is so depleted in nutrients. Even though they're feeding their body, they're not giving their body the nutrients they need, so they're going to still crave more food. When you eat the foods that have a high quality of nutrition in them, you only eat a little and you'll be satisfied. Remember that. If you eat a whole bunch of what they call empty calories, a whole bunch of candy and everything else, or even processed food that's cooked, you've destroyed many of the enzymes and nutrients. You're not giving the body of what it needs, and you're always going to be hungry or looking for food or desiring food. But you take a nice nutritious salad or a nice green vegetable juice, you get filled up quite quickly. And then the most common thing people are doing today, which is really detrimental to the health, is they're eating late at night. Eating late at night and then going right to sleep is very, very bad for health. So it's not just the type of food we eat, but it's when we eat it. And many people, first of all, if you're eating late at night, there's a good chance you're overweight. Obesity is a relatively term of what obese means and overweight means. But let me correct my statement before when I said that there's a tremendous connection between people that are obese and dying from COVID. And let me correct it and say there's a tremendous connection between people that are overweight and dying from COVID. Because obesity is a relative term that people can make up their own minds who's obese and who's not. But overweight is overweight, and you shouldn't be overweight. Take care of yourselves physically and eating what you're eating the right things that are going to keep you healthy and keep you fit and in shape. So there are professional athletes out there that are getting COVID. It doesn't make you immune to this. But I'll tell you what, for the most part, most of them, if not all of them, are surviving. I mean, you might have a retired professional athlete that is has gotten out of shape since they last played professional sports that might be dying or died from COVID. But you're not seeing current professional athletes because they train hard. They usually eat somewhat, to a degree, nutritionally somewhat healthy. But, those people, the office workers, the people that aren't taking care of their bodies and so on, the problems are arising. So, yes, we can all do better, but why not? Why not? Yeah. And, and it's my desire to help people that have illnesses and help people get better, especially if you have ulcerative colitis. I see someone here mention that. Anyone that's suffering from that, if you haven't contacted me in the past or checked in with me, check in with me and let's work and help get you better. But yes, somebody says here until the 6th of September, there are 4,515 variants. So this isn't going away anytime soon, but your poor health can go away by eating healthier and living healthier. So that's all I'm suggesting that you do. And then excuses. When do you stop making the excuses? When you start taking action to change your health, try to do it for 1 month. Just try to eat healthy for 1 month. Just fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, fresh, raw. But most people, when they get their nuts and seeds, they get them roasted, but raw. Raw, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and not too much on the nuts and seeds, not too much of that. But try to go 1 month with eating healthy. Just 1 month. I guarantee your life is going to change tremendously. Your health will change. Everything will change for the better. For the better. So I pray that somebody takes me up on that challenge and actually does that and makes that change. But as for me, I feel wonderful, and I can't express how thankful I am that I found the health instructions of life, and knowing that the food for man is fruits and vegetables, and this is what we should be eating. So for those of you that are watching this now, or you might watch this later, that you think the raw food diet or the vegan diet is just laughable and so on, it's not. It's important. And also, I know people. Well, my dad, he eats a lot of vegetables, nothing organic. That's like taking roach spray and spraying your vegetable and eating it. I don't care how much you wash it. It's still, you wouldn't spray a bunch of grapes with roach spray and then wash it and then eat it. I hope you wouldn't. It's not good. So do your best to pay more and get some organic food. It makes a difference. It really does. So keep that in mind. Raw, ripe, fresh, and organic. Most people aren't eating ripe food. A lot of the fruits and vegetables they get are unripe, and they don't have their full nutrition in them, and they're very acidic when they're unripe, creating many problems. People say, well, I'm eating a raw diet, but I'm not healthy. Well, you got to get good quality food. Raw, ripe, fresh food, not for food that's dying and dead. When you pick that food right off the tree or out of the ground, it starts losing its nutrients and its minerals and its enzymes immediately. So the sooner you eat it from when it came out of the ground, the better. That's why if you have an opportunity to grow your own food. Some people say, oh, I don't have the land to grow my own food. Then grow sprouts. You can grow sprouts anywhere in your kitchen. You don't need a lot of land to do that. Get some fresh fruits in your diet. Grow some sunflower sprouts and juice them every day or something. You have opportunities to do these different things. And so, yes, there is an impact of nutrition and COVID and a raw food diet and COVID. It can make a difference. And share your experiences. Put under the comments or questions. Have you been eating a raw diet? Did you get COVID? And what's your experience been? How serious was it, or how non-serious was it? Do you believe your diet had an impact on that in health? The more information we have, maybe it'll help and encourage others. So put down in the comments if you're watching this and you've suffered from COVID or the symptoms of COVID. How was your experience and related to your diet? Do you just not eat healthy and care less about that? Most of you that are watching eat healthy. So, what diet you were eating and how did the COVID affect you? How bad were the symptoms? Because there are people out there that say some people get mild symptoms and some people that don't. That might be true to a degree, but I'll tell you what, I don't care what mildness or type of variant you got. If you're not eating healthy, if you're not living healthy, this thing's going to knock you down. Everybody I've ever heard or met that said, well, it didn't affect me too much, are somewhat healthy. I never met people that are out of shape that said, well, it didn't affect me too much. No, people out of faith, people that are not that healthy, boy, it just knocks them out. And so I want you to be healthy. I don't want you to have to suffer like that. So I hope this helps. If you have those comments or questions, post them below the video. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. We'll be back with more videos about this. And hopefully we'll start taking control of our health and making a difference. But definitely a raw food diet makes a difference with our health and our health situation. It really does. So you have to believe it. And yeah, there's so many other things that are bad. I just mentioned the microwave and coffee, but there's so many other things that I speak about often on this channel. So Yeah. So alrighty, everybody. Have a great day out there, everybody, and have a great raw life. I gotta get going now and have my juice and my smoothie. So have a blessed day.